Oh man. Hello. Is it background noise? I honestly can't tell. I think there's people partying outside for some reason. A chemistry? Yeah. Yeah, but like my neighbors are throwing a party or something. I don't know why, but yeah, if there's like background noise or if you can hear my fan going on or whatever, just let me know. I'll try and get it fixed. Quality maple content? I don't know about quality, but it is content. Ooh, actually, do I not have a meso coupon? I'll do like 20 to 30 minutes before I decide to do anything else. I don't really know what I want to do today, honestly. Like originally I was planning on streaming Sunny Sunday content, like just rolling inner ability and opening souls, but I don't know, I decided it's just that wouldn't be like really that fun to watch, so I just opened a bunch of souls and I rolled inner ability lines on my Adele on my dual blade, and honestly, like, I'm kinda glad I didn't stream it, just cause like there was like nothing good that happened. It was honestly like really disappointing. Which card on that? I would probably say Lower Path 1. I honestly don't know what the best map is. I just, like, I haven't farmed on a character that's not a Kana in a long time. Or like Adele. Cause like I tried to farm on my Ran, but I just couldn't find a good map for it in Arcana. So, yeah. So on my dual blade, so I have what was that? 20% boss damage, right? And 7% status effect damage. So did my pets die? Ah, crap. My pet starved. Yeah, so I was just aiming for like, oh my god, the lag is so bad. Maybe I shouldn't use Infinity. But on my third line I was aiming for crit rate or attack. Just like flat attack, right? And actually, like on my third roll, I ended up getting attack +9 on my dual blade, and that's okay, right? Like the max you can go on a third line is +21. So +9 was like pretty good, but I don't know. I had like 2 mil honor left, So I decided to just reroll over +9 attack, and the only good thing I ended up getting was like 22% buff duration. And what's up? It's called PETA. I need to get auto feed on my pets, honestly. Once I get enough Mabel points, I'm gonna give all my pets auto feed. But because my Dual Blade's original inner ability was 34% buff duration, which is like okay, like on Dual Blades, because like it increases the duration of Final Cut, right? And Angelic Buster Link, that's like the only thing buff duration is good for. But I had 34% originally, but then I just like stopped using Angelic Buster Link, just in general for bossing, just because it was kind of like a pain to use it. But then, so I rolled over 34% buff duration, and I didn't, like I had the 26 all stat line, right? And that was like, that's like really bad. So I spent like 2 mil on it today, like a little over 2 mil, and yeah, I tried to get back buff duration or attack or crit, but like the crit line is super rare, so I didn't even see crit at all. And the 9 attack line at the very beginning was like the only attack line I ever saw. I didn't see like anything higher. I saw buff duration, I saw like 24% buff duration, and I got 20% buff duration. And so I told myself, if I get like one more like decent buff duration line, I'll settle. And I was almost out of honor. I had like a few more rerolls left, and then I hit the I hit 22% buff duration, which is lower than 34, which is what I had like 2 months ago. But it honestly like doesn't really matter. I guess anything's better than all stat really. So yeah, I don't really mind. Sturdy attack, 10 boss, 12 buff duration. It's okay. I would reroll the buff duration line later for either the percent damage on status effect or like crit rate if possible. But like 30 attack isn't, like 20 boss is better than 30 attack. Because like if you flip those two lines around, you could have 20 boss and 21 attack instead, right? Which is better, but like yeah, if you already have that, it's probably not worth it to change like away from that. Unless you have like 5 mil plus honor and there's a 50% event, then yeah, I guess maybe. But yeah, I think if you're going for like an optimal inner ability, I mean technically crit rate isn't that good on Dual Blades either, because if your Legion is above 8k, you can technically just like fill in whatever crit rate you're missing with Legion. That's what I do on my Dual Blade. Like I have like 10 to like 12% from my Legion tiles. That's what you could do as well. So you don't, Dual Blades don't technically need crit rate for endgame. So ideally, like the best damage lines would be 20 boss, 21 attack, and then the 8% damage on status effect. But I don't know. It's hard optimizing inner ability. So yeah. Oh, I should have my buff duration familiars, or my drop rate familiars on. Oh, I do. Alright. I honestly don't really notice the difference between having drop rate familiars and not. Like, I think we're all getting scammed. But whatever. Oh yeah, so on my Adele, I try to roll for, so I bought like 500 mil worth of circulators, and I try to roll for 20% meso, but like that line just like would not show up. Like I'm pretty sure I've spent like over 2 to 3 bill on my Adele just rolling for 20% meso, and I haven't seen it yet. So I just like gave up, and I just rolled. I tried to roll my third line 5% meso, because it's 5% meso, right? So I tried to roll that for higher meso, but I just ended up back at 5%, and I'm out of honor now, so like my Adele's inner ability literally didn't change. It's kind of sad. See, without that inner-ability line, my Adele just doesn't make that much meso. I'm kind of disappointed, honestly. Like, I actually thought Adele would make more meso per hour. But it doesn't seem like Adele can make like 600 mil an hour here. Like, she can only make like 500 to like 520 mil an hour clean. So it's actually kinda bad. I don't know. I guess their swords just don't do enough. Okay, there's an E-boss. Of course. But like in 8 minutes I made 75 mil. Yeah, it's like pretty bad. It's like 600 mil an hour with the coupon. $250 an hour on CLP. So you don't go to CLP. Like, even if your class is like super trash, you could still probably eke out like at least 350 mil or 400 if you go to like LP1 or like something. I think LP1 is like, if you can full clear LP1, which I don't know if Dual Blade can, probably not, but LP1 can probably get you at about 430 mil an hour, which is a lot better than 250, so yeah. It's actually nice to have a second account Kana, because like, you know how the Kana nerfs, the Kishin nerf, people were like, you know, Kanas are dead now, second account PC Kanas are dead. It's actually like a lot better now. Like, if you just turn on Kana, your second account Kana's Kishin, and you hold down like the attack key, you can actually keep up Kishin pretty much forever in Arcana. Like, I don't have to like manually press down Kishin, I just have to have Shikigami Haunting held down. It's like actually much more convenient than new Kishin. This is Reboot. I'm pretty sure it should say in my title, right? Unless it didn't update, then I have to go update it again. But meso and drop rate, I don't know. I think I should be at 100% meso. If I'm not, I'm actually throwing 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Okay, I have 100% meso and I think 80% drop rate, and then my drop rate familiar should get me to like another 100%. I don't know, something like that. Just says chillin'. That's fine, whatever. Yeah, it's Reboot though. I think later on, after this session, I might do a tier list on stream. Should I do that? Would that be interesting? My version of class tier list. I don't know. What's diff better, Reboot another server? Are you asking what's different or what's better about Reboot? Because yeah, second PC quality of life. Yeah, actually okay, so it sucks for lower level areas, because obviously if your second account Kana is like super high level and you try and attack something in a low level area, you're just gonna kill the mobs. But in like high area levels, the Kishin changes are actually like better for us. So you rolled 28% crit. Yikes. Got tilted. Oh, okay, so actually on my Adele, when I was rolling circulators, I actually ended up, I got 10% crit on the second line, but I don't think Adele needs crit, so I don't know. It's kind of a shame. What's the difference between Reboot and other worlds? Oh, okay. So, the main difference is, well, first of all, you can't trade. And that's honestly, I think the biggest reason that turns off most people from Reboot is the fact that you can't trade. Because in, like in most MMOs, like trading is a big part of, playing the game, right? But me personally, I was like, I honestly like it better, the fact that you can't trade. Just cause like, if you see someone with gear, then you know that they made that gear personally, and I think that's pretty cool. It's like they didn't they didn't buy it, or they didn't use real money to get it. Like they made that equip personally by spending hours of grinding, So I think that's like the progression is like, I like that, because in other MMOs I did a lot of merchanting, and it's like I kind of wanted like a different style of MMO, so that's why I played Reboot. But yeah, so. Yeah, obviously the biggest reason, that's not the biggest difference. The biggest difference is, yeah, that you can buy cubes and, well, pretty much everything except like Gachapon and stuff, and like NX. But like cubes and stuff like that you buy with meso. Like flames and cubes, you buy with meso. So all progression related stuff, like everything related to damage, you can buy with meso. So obviously, if you're planning on not spending any real money on MapleStory, then you could consider playing Reboot. The other big difference is that because Reboot doesn't have like NX, like real money to pay for progression and stuff like that, they kind of like took out a lot of stuff from the base game in Reboot, just to like incentivize people to play the normal servers and like spend money. Yeah, I am using a meso coupon. So the biggest difference is that Reboot has no scrolling or bonus potentials, and that is honestly a really big. That's the main reason why there's such a big damage gap between like endgame normal server players and endgame Reboot players, is because bonus potentials and scrolling just adds a huge amount of stats that Reboot players just will never get. To compensate though, they gave us a passive. It's the Reboot passive. We get 6 times from meso from mobs. So to incentivize farming, basically, like what I'm doing right now. And you see that we get a 1% damage increase per 2 levels. So instead of like, so normal servers don't have that. So if you're a level 275 player, you basically have an extra like 137% damage stat. So that was to like lessen the power difference between, that was like their way of compensating for not giving us bonus potentials and scrolling, but obviously that does like not enough to compensate for the damage. So Reboot is just a lot weaker, and normal servers just have a lot of like stuff related to like real money, like Breath of Divinity, Frenzy Totem is a big thing, and because they can trade, trading is also limited between characters of your account. So you can't trade equips between your different characters. The only things you can trade are certain things in your use tab and your etc tab. You can't trade. You can't put any equips into the storage. So what that means is, for normal servers, if you're like planning on leveling a bunch of characters for Legion, like getting AK Legion or whatever, you can basically make a few sets of really strong like low level gear, and you can just use them for all your different characters to power level them up. Reboot, we don't have that, so every new character has to kind of like start out fresh, and the only thing you can take advantage of on a new character is Lynx and Legion. That's why Lynx and Legion is super important for Reboot players, because you're not going to have like good gear on new characters, so you're going to have to rely on Lynx and stuff like that to do damage. Also, yeah, now that familiars are out, normal servers have something called red cards, which are basically red cubes but for familiars instead. And so normal servers can get like these really crazy powerful familiars, while Reboot can't. They can't really get like super strong familiars. They're pretty much stuck with like 30% boss damage familiars at the best, pretty much. Okay, you know what? I think I am done farming actually. My second account, my second PC is actually just completely gone. So okay, I left it on all day and the entire screen just went black. Okay. Alright, let's stop that. The tier rates on those cards are absurdly low. Yeah, but I mean, even if you just get like one unique familiar, right? You can just unique familiars still get good lines, and you can just reroll unique lines. Like you don't have to go for legendary, but Reboot is pretty much stuck at the epic tier for now, unless like some crazy people are farming like thousands of familiars, but I kind of doubt that. Yeah. Right. It'd be kind of a waste to stop training actually right now, just because my Kana died, so I'm going to do my dailies real quick, and then I think I will do a tier list after this, after my dailies real quick. Because I know yesterday I ended off like ranting about Kana, and yeah, I guess I could explain my thoughts about every single class in the game and like sort of rank them in a tier list. I think that'd be pretty fun. So I'll do that after I do my dailies real quick. Yeah, like in Reboot it's pretty much impossible, like unless you like RNG'd a good 2-line, it's like most classes can't get 2-line. Like most people can't get 2-line familiars. So whatever. Because the pool for lines is just so big for epic and unique. It's like, I think unique familiars can get something like 170 different lines, while legendary only has 50 something lines, and like of those 50 something, like 6 or 7 of them or like 7 of those, or like even like 9 of those lines are like pretty good. So yeah, if you can get to legendary, definitely it's a lot better. But I don't think Reboot can, I don't think, unless someone like picks up a legendary familiar, which I doubt, I don't think Reboot's gonna see a legendary familiar. Is Adele better at Arcana or Sphera? I honestly don't know, because I'm not strong enough to farm at a Sphera. Actually, I might be strong enough now, but it's more comfortable to farm at the map I was just farming in. The one in Arcana where you just jump off the ropes. That's the most like low effort farming. It's really low effort, so I just would just stick with Arcana, honestly. Is it even worth it to farm a familiar to unique? No. I think for newer players, you can stick to getting rare, because you can get 50% ID on a rare familiar, and then if you have like 3 of those, then it's like 45% ID, right? Which is still pretty good for like new players, because new players like ID. So, and then once you're like established, you can, I guess, eventually go for epic familiars. But yeah, it's gonna take a long time. I think rare familiars are pretty easy to get, like especially like now that they've been out and people are figuring out how to best get familiars. it shouldn't be that bad to get like two or three good rare familiars, but epics are gonna be a pain. So yeah. Oh, you can get 50% on commons. Oh, okay, no, that's super easy then. Yeah. Yeah, commons still drop pretty frequently if you have drop rate and you go to the right maps. I don't know what the maps are because I don't care about familiars anymore, but yeah, if commons can get 50% ID, then that's actually really big. What do you think about Adele's kit? I think it's I'll go more to depth later when I'm doing the tier list, but yeah, I think her kit is very strong. There's no way it's 0014. That's absurd. That's actually absurd. I don't think it's that low. I think like you have to spend a few hundred cards, but yeah, if it's 0.0014, that means you're gonna have to spend thousands of cards to tier up. I don't think it's that low. Maybe like 0.0 or like 0.1. You got yours from the familiars you farmed for badges on your account? Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. I personally, I'm just not farming because I actually have like a decent amount of points left over, so I'm just gonna be opening up booster packs once a day. And then once I run out of booster packs, I'm gonna then decide what badges I want to farm and stuff like that, so. Overall damage since it's really strong. Oh, so when I'm going to be talking about the tier list, I'll be taking into account the balance patch that's coming out next month or the month after that. I'll be taking into account that balance patch, and I'll be taking into account the new V skills that that came out of KMS. It'll be like a more up to date, or like a kind of like a future proof tier list. Although like I personally can't like. Obviously, I don't really know too much about the V skill, so other than like the classes I care about, so I can't go too much in detail about those, but I'll give my general impressions about the classes. Wow, those are some bad dailies actually. Well, people are camping on field buses. Yeah, like they're just sitting there with bubble on and just AFKing all night. It's pretty funny actually, but yeah, it is kind of annoying for some people. Why are there people here? I don't understand. Should I CC? Yeah, I should probably CC. I can't CC because my swords are flying around. Oh my god. Did you take into account any future potential Adele nerfs? Well, I'll take into account the nerf that's happening in 2 months. And since Adele hasn't gotten nerfed in KMS after that one, the tier list will be accurate for at least the next 6 to 7 months. I think that's a pretty good time frame. Like if there's like a drastic change in certain classes, then like I can make another tier list then. But yeah, I think yeah, I'll be just looking into the changes that happened in KMS so far. The thing is, like, the thing about making a tier list is that I could probably make like 4 or 5 different tier lists, and they'd all be drastically different, just depending on like what criteria you're looking at for a class. Because like there's like early game. By early game I mean like post 200, like right after you hit 200. There's early game, and then there's like mid game, which is what most people will be in, like 200 to like 250. And then there's like late game, which is 250 plus. And then there's end game, which is 275. And then there's also a bossing, and there's a mobbing tier list. It's like there's too many criteria. So honestly, I don't know. Where can I find a tier list you made? Oh, I haven't done it yet. I'll be doing it on stream in like whenever I finish my dailies. I feel like if you made something 6 months isn't long enough. I don't know. I feel like if you stick with a class for 6 months, at that point, I think you would stick with the class. Like, unless the class gets gutted, I don't think people will be like, "Oh, my class got nerfed a little bit. It's time to switch classes." I guess that just means you don't like the class. You just like the damage it does, which doesn't really mean you like the class. You just like doing damage, so yeah. What would you say is a healthy pace to be building up your Legion? Whatever pace so that you don't get burned out is a good pace. And that's gonna be different for everybody. What do you think about the swords? Yeah, honestly, I don't feel like the swords do as much as I thought they would. Because they actually take time to like fly and hit the mob. So they're not that great, I'll be honest with you. But what I didn't expect was Cleave to be this good. Like, Cleave is disgustingly good as a mobbing skill, as a base mobbing skill. So it's fine. Like, Adele's mobbing is passable. And by passable, I mean like it's pretty good. Oh, I need to get to Moonbridge so my dailies, my Morse dailies gets reduced. I can't stand doing 2 Morse dailies every day. They look good. Well, yeah. You would think six swords flying around would be good, but out of 2,817 red cards, only 4 tiered up. 705 cards. How much is it for 1 card? Is it $1 per card? What do you do when you're not streaming? I'm probably playing MapleStory. Playing like some other random game with my friends. Or I'm sleeping. Or I'm studying. Yeah. Not much else to do with the quarantine, you know? I mean, not that, like, the quarantine really changed much for me, I'll be honest. Like, the quarantine didn't really change my lifestyle that much. It's $1.20 for 1 card. Oh my gosh, that's like, what, like, $8.50? For 1 legendary familiar? Yeah. I don't know. What am I studying? I'm just studying like general math and econ. I don't really enjoy studying, I'll be honest. Like, it's whatever. I just do enough. Yeah. Am I a student? Yeah, I'm a 4th year college student, I guess. Yeah. Although, like, right now, it's summer, so, you know, like, I say studying, but there's not really that much to study, so. Yeah, I don't know, I feel like I'm on MapleStory a lot, but I don't actually play MapleStory a lot. Does that make sense? I feel like a good chunk of my time, I'm just sitting around chatting with friends. Or something like that. Like, if every minute I spent logged on, I spent farming, I would probably be like, actually strong. What school? San Diego. Which school in San Diego? I'll leave that up for you to guess. Where's the music? Oh wait, where did the music go? Hold up. Am I memory leaking again? Ah, crap. There's no music. Ah, crap. Wait. I tried iframe. I panicked and I pressed the iframe button. Oh no. Probably be the #1 DB. No. Or, well, maybe, honestly. But, like, being #1 is more of a matter of RNG rather than, like... Well, it is, like, dependent on how much time you spend in the game, but it's also, like, very much RNG. And by RNG, I mean, like, for those people who are going for a 5-set Umbra, it's basically, like, how lucky do you get with your stuff going to 22 stars, 21 stars, 22 stars on your Umbra gear. Like, me personally, like, I watch people like Pocket spend, like, hundreds of hours farming for droplets, only for their stuff to boom. And I'm just being like, I don't want to do that. Like, I'm fine with 22-star Absolab. Like, I do around the same amount of damage anyways. It's like a little bit less damage, but at least I haven't spent hundreds of hours getting droplets, so yeah. Okay, I have a bad feeling I'm gonna just crash soon. I'm gonna restart after this. I don't really need to see the minimap like better. It's like whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't usually memory leak, but ah, crap, that wasn't 5. Yeah, but I've been memory leaking quite a lot recently. Actually, I DC'd today in my hard lucid run, so my progress towards my Umbra weapon is actually delayed by another week, which kind of sucks. But actually, I'm not really farming enough droplets anyways, so I don't have enough like droplets to even the green droplets. I don't have enough of those droplets to even make a weapon. So I guess it doesn't really matter, but. Yeah, at the current pace I'm going, it's another 4 weeks until I get an Umbra weapon on my Adele. But that's fine. I mean, yeah, it's whatever. Power Poison better than Adele endgame? No, Adele's stronger right now. Wait, what? What was my score? Wait, now the music's playing? Wait a minute, what? I don't... Okay, maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not memory leaking. I don't know. Maybe the music just bugged out. A 22-star Absolab can go Black Mage, yeah. 22-star Absolab is about, like, 20-star... it's a little bit worse than 20-star Umbra, but, like, again, like, I would not even go for 20-star Umbra. That just sounds like a pain. So, 22-star Absolab for me. Isn't TP strong for bossing? Not really. No. Making a spare armor weapon? No. My Adele doesn't have an Umbra weapon. My Adele's using the fake Absolab weapon from Relay still. That's honestly why my Adele's kind of weak. Doesn't do as much damage as I should be doing. Just because like I don't have a real potential. So 22-star Absolab can't clear Black Mage quests. I can solo Hard Lucid. Or 22-star Absolab can solo Hard Lucid, and it can do Vihila. But I don't know if it can do Hard Will. That's to be determined. I can do every quest but Hard Will. I'm thinking with the new 5th drop skill, maybe I could do Hard Will. Because like the difference between 22-star Absolab and 22-star Umbra is like 5% or less. So, yeah, it doesn't really make too big of a difference. Also, like, I don't know. Like, even if they told me, like, oh, if you're going for 22-star Absolab, you can't get a Genesis weapon, I'll be like, okay, whatever, I'm just gonna give up on Genesis weapon then. Like, I am not gonna farm 500 plus hours or like 1,000 plus hours extra just to get a shot at 22 star, getting 22 star Umbra. Like, I am not that kind of player. I'm way too casual for that. Okay, so yeah. Only 5%? Yeah. So, well, it might be a little bit more. Let me see. Okay, so the difference is, so a 22 star Absolab hat is better than 22 star Fafnir hat, right? So you're actually getting more stats from having Absolab hat, but then you're losing about 2 stars worth on your shoes, gloves, and cape, and your shoulder. So you're losing about 8 stars worth of stats, but you're gaining like about 1 star's worth. So it's about 7 stars, and that's about 5% overall damage. Maybe it's like 6%. Yeah, but the difference is really low. So me personally, like, I think getting like 5% or like 10% more damage is not worth spending an extra few hundred hours. So yeah, I'll stick with Epsilon. Like, regardless. Like, even after the droplet change, like, they made droplets a lot cheaper, and it's still like not worth it for me. Galina's? Is that the... Oh no, this is the bad map. This is the map everybody's in, isn't it? Oh crap. It's actually big because flame. Well, yeah, no. So I did calculations like a while ago on, like, I made a Reddit thread about it, and taking into account like all the flames and stuff, the difference was like, I don't know. It's pretty big, but it's not like game breaking. But like, that's assuming you have 22 star Umbra. Like, of all the people in Reboot that have farmed for hundreds, thousands of hours, like, only like singular digits of them have full 22 star Umbra. It's like, there are people, like, for every like insanely lucky person who has 22 star Umbra, there's tens of players who have farmed for hundreds of hours and still don't have gear that's as good as 22 star Absolab. So yeah, I'm not gonna take the chance. I don't consider myself lucky when I do Star Force, so I can't. There's no way. We're going from DB to Shad to level 250 to 275. Wow. Well, if you're going purely just to level, like, if you don't care about bossing, if you're not gonna be doing any bossing, then you only need like 300 for like the boost nodes. But if you actually want to like max out your V skills, then you're gonna need thousands. Can't call yourself casual when you have 275. I mean, I kinda can. It's like, I've been playing Reboot for 4 years. Like, if you spread out the time, it's actually not that much time. Merc good. Yeah, find out if my tier. Okay, but my tier list isn't gonna be straight up like objective, right? It's gonna have my like bias and opinions on it. So like, just because I say a class is good or bad doesn't mean it necessarily will be good or bad. It's what I think it is. So I'll try and be like as objective as possible, but I have opinions on like certain classes, you know. So I feel like Hurricane classes being able to move while attacking and dodging is nice on like Adele. Maybe. That's personal preference. I personally just don't like Hurricane classes. What are your top 3 classes? Top 3 good classes or top 3 favorite classes? Again, there's a difference. Both. Okay. So top 3 DPS classes right now, minus Kana, it is Adele, Hero, And probably dual blade. I don't know. The third spot is kind of iffy, I'll be honest. You could make an argument for several classes. Like Cannoneer is also super strong. Fire Poison is super strong. Yeah, there's like Arc. Yeah, there's a lot there's several classes, but for sure Adele and Hero right now are very, very strong. Yeah, Nightwalker as well. Nightwalkers are also extremely good. I'm gonna actually fail this if I don't. Oh my god, what am I doing? I've got it. Yeah, Cannoneer is really good. Cannon Master, Nightwalker, Arc. Yeah, they're both extremely strong classes. They're all extremely strong. Like in terms of damage, like they could probably, you could make an argument that they're like stronger than DB. They probably are, but yeah. 1.08 million Maple points. How many dollars is that? I don't know what the conversion rate. Is it $1 1,000 Maple points? So what is that? $1,000? Like Demon Slayer is definitely one of my most favorite classes in the game. Like it's probably my first or second favorite class that I've never like actually tried to play. Like I have a level 210 Demon Slayer. But yeah, and a level 210 Arc. Like I would totally main those classes if Thieves weren't a thing. Now DB is very strong, but they're not that strong because like so classes with most amount of lines, yeah, like Nightwalker I think is the #1 class with most amount of lines, and then there's like Wild Hunter or something, like Wind Archer or something like that. I don't know. Adele also is really up there, probably Kana as well. But yeah, the problem with DB actually is that DB doesn't do enough lines. Like DB actually is pretty mediocre in terms of lines, so once you get to like the extreme late game, DB actually kinda gets screwed over by the lack of lines. What would I say are Arc's weaknesses? I have no clue. I don't play Arc. I just know that they're cool and they're good. Lines only matter when you cap, which probably won't happen. No. Reboot definitely caps. Most endgame players cap a lot. Cap very frequently. Like my Shadower can probably do like 20, 30 bill lines. If it could, which obviously it can't. Yeah, that is true. Like non-spectral mode is pretty lackluster compared to spectre mode. If Arccat was permanently in spectre mode, then I would say Arc is probably like one of the best classes. But the fact that they actually have downtime on spectre is, yeah. Not solo? No, even solo, like my DB can hit 10 bill, like pretty easily. Like without Oz rings too. Like my DB can hit 10 bill on hard lucid, hard will. Like in a party with a Kana, like just with domain up, like most of my lines cap already. So yeah, DBs kind of suck my game, sorta. But again, like for soloing, it's not too bad. Like they have enough lines. They have like just enough lines to get by. No, so DPS lists do take into account cooldown hat. Like the main one that I reference, the guy takes into account pretty much everything. That's not to say that the DPS list is accurate, because obviously DPS lists just are inherently flawed because they're theoreticals, right? But like if a class can utilize cooldown hat, then DPS lists do take that into account. Like I remember there was a post like last week. This one Bowmaster main was like cooldown hat works on Bowmaster, like it affects the armor break, and like a few hours after that Reddit post went up, like the Japanese like DPM maker, he actually like adjusted it for cooldown hat on Bowmaster. So like yeah, the guy making the DPS list that I look at, he's actually taking into account a lot of things. Yeah. Like the reason why dual blades are kind of low on DPM charts is because in reality they don't actually do that much damage. Especially because DPS charts, they assume you have max gear, like pretty much like AK Legion, like perfect gear. And again, at the very extreme levels of the game, dual blades aren't that great. Oh, Jose, thanks for the follow. So, also, yeah, but the reason why dual blades are strong is because they have a lot of utility, which allows them to stay alive and do damage, while other classes would have to stop dealing damage and like actually do mechanics. And that's the reason why dual blades are so strong. That's why the reason why like classes like Hero and Dual Blade are so strong is because one, they're fairly straightforward, so that they can reach the they can get closer to that theoretical like limit that DPM charts use, and they have stuff like iframes and Asura, which allows them to keep attacking while other classes would lose out on DPS. The Japanese guy checks Reddit? Yeah, apparently. I don't know. It was really weird. Like on the footnotes, he updated Bowmaster and he like put a link to the Reddit thread, and I was like, huh, that's actually very interesting. If there's no damage cap, what class do you think would be the strongest? Well, I mean, Kana still. Like, releasing the damage cap, honestly, it wouldn't change the difference that much. Well, at least in Reboot. Like, I'm talking about a Reboot. Like, the guy makes the list for Reboot. He takes into account the limitations of, like, you know, Reboot. For normal servers, I don't know. Like, but yeah. Still find DB to be better than Shadow's potential? Oh yeah, for well, I think dual blades, like, okay, so on the DPS chart, Shadowers are like slightly higher than dual blades, like with the most recent like iteration of like their V skills and everything, and I can see that happening, but realistically, again, dual blades have 2 iframes while Shadowers have like a short singular iframe. So I definitely think dual blade is better. So yeah, DPM charts aren't everything. Like when you're looking at a DPM chart, you like specifically have to know what you're looking at and to interpret it correctly. What's the Japanese guy's name? I don't know. I don't read Japanese. How would you know if it's accurate? I don't, and that's why I don't really put like much thought into DPM charts or any DPM charts in general. Like, I've looked through like, yeah, like I've looked at like this, like the code and like what's he's using to like determine DPM. It's like whatever. Like I don't know if it's accurate or not. Daxter Beer, thanks for the follow. What he's basically doing, he's getting the like the duration and the like the ending lag, like basically the duration of every single skill in milliseconds, because like you know how long each skill takes to cast. He's getting the damage of that skill, the duration that it takes, and the cooldown, basically the uptime of that skill. And that's what he's using to calculate all these. And obviously, that's not accurate because you can't perfectly optimize your damage rotation like that 100% of the time. So the DPM chart isn't accurate by any means. IVVA, thanks for the follow. So, yeah. How to find a post? I don't know, like, it's just like look up like Maple Street DPM Japanese or something like that. I don't know. I forgot what the actual URL to the site was. I think Burst is more stronger and consistent damage. It depends. Like, I think Hero is super strong, regardless. Like, even if like most of the damage is in the burst, they're still really strong because they have World Reaver, they can iframe, and their off damage burst still isn't bad. So it's like, I don't know. It's like whatever. The Adele final damage buff and the 6 swords. Oh, that's being taken out actually. That got like that damage buff is like when you hit 6 swords, the final damage bonus you're getting is getting removed in the next balance patch. So that's already like been taken care of. Like especially when you look at classes that you utilize cooldown skip, like calculating that gets really weird. So yeah, again, like I wouldn't trust DPM charts. It's just kind of cool to see like where classes theoreticals lie in, but like you shouldn't use them to reference. You shouldn't use them to choose a class, basically. Like you should, if you want to find out what classes are actually strong, you should ask like mains of those classes to find out if they're strong or not. What's your DB's dojo? It's floor 56 usually. Can you make a dojo list for bosses? What does that mean? A dojo tier list? Dude, I have no clue. I could not make a dojo tier list. Like, for me already, like, making a tier list by itself is already kind of, like, iffy because I'm not an expert in most classes in the game. So I can only give, like, my opinion on them. But, like, dojo, like, I have no clue. I only know what the good classes are. Like everything below like the top 5 classes, it's just like I don't know. Are you showing the pocket? No. Not even close. Well, sort of close. I don't know. If I fix my gear, I'll be about as strong as him. Not that it's a competition, but. Dark, greater than everyone. True. What the heck? I spawned so many blues. Alright. So, the tier list that I'm gonna be making is just gonna be... I don't know. I'll probably do like overall as a class, because it'll be too like difficult to sort it into like damage versus like bossing, mobbing, early, late game, mid game. So I'll just look at the class as a whole when sorting them in tier lists. Actually, I need to find a good tier list on like a tier list template. Is there a good one on like Tier Maker? I need one that has like up to Adele in it. Let's see. And obviously it needs to have Kana and High Tone in it. Oh, did I fail? Okay, you know what? I'm kind of over Spectrum, so whatever. We'll do that later. Let me look for a tier list. Is this tier list doesn't have Hayato and Kana in it. Huh. I need a tier list that has every class. Or I guess I could just do one without Kana and Hayato. Oh, but there's gonna be no Beast Tamer as well. What to do? I can't find a good tier list maker. I could have sworn I saw one like. Be funny if bosses can be pushed with Tornado Spin. Man, if like actual bosses could be pushed, then Cannoneer and Dual Blaze would be pretty strong. But yeah. Alright, screw it. Let's I'm gonna just use this one, and I'll just like Kana and Hayato and Beast Tamer, and Jet is like whatever then. Okay. Let's okay. Okay, let's do the tier list then. Screw dailies. Shade is highest tier, not debatable. I don't know about that one. Okay. Okay. Oh, my camera's... Okay. So... let me just rename this. Before I get started, so... I'm just gonna put Jet at the bottom, just cause, you know, it do be like that. Alright, we'll have S, A, B, C, D tier. I don't think there's a... I don't think it's necessary to have this many, like, layers. Because I don't think, like... Oh, whatever, let's just go with it. Okay, so... This tier list is gonna be like an overall tier list. It's not gonna be looking at like any specific like aspect of the game, like bossing or mobbing. It's just gonna be like my ranking for what I feel like classes are. And I don't know most of these classes like very well, so I'm probably gonna misplace most of them. Like if you main this class, you'll probably like disagree with me, but whatever. It's yeah, overall my opinion. Yeah, so Jet. So this list doesn't actually have non-Camus classes. So Jet, Kana, Hayato, and Beast Tamer are not going to be in here. But I mean, doesn't really matter. X6 Ghost, thanks for the follow, because we all know Jet is garbage, and so Jet belongs in its own tier at the bottom. And we all know Kana is actually just the most busted class in the game, so Kana deserves its own tier up here. So we'll start off with that. Hayato and Beast Tamer are like I would put Hayato like around like B tier or C tier, and I would put like Beast Tamer like DNF. But okay, we'll move on to the actual classes. Like KMS classes. Okay, so starting off, this is Bowmaster, I think. So actually, Bowmaster, they've been kind of getting pretty good over the past like year or two. Oh, actually, let me pull up the balance patch that's gonna happen next month, and I will, when I'm referencing a class, I'll look at what their buff is gonna be, because most classes got buffed. So I'll be looking into that as well. So Bowmasters are getting a little bit of a buff to Arrow Rain, but they're already a really good class. Not so much in GMS, just because like they're a Hurricane class and they're getting they don't get the attack speed bonus like every other class does. But fifth job, their new V skill, they're getting like a 90% damage reduction skill with their new fifth job skill. So actually their survivability is pretty good, and the amount of lines that they do is really good. And their mobbing late game is pretty good with Platter. Early and mid game they're not that great, but I think overall they're like a pretty solid class. So yeah. Can I post a link? The link to the patch notes are an orange mushroom. Okay, Evan. Man, Evans used to be so good actually. But they have been kind of getting nerfed a little. But I still think Evan is pretty good. Like if you can one shot with wind blades, they're really good. But they are getting nerfed with the upcoming balance patch. So I would have put them in A tier, but with the nerfs, I'm gonna put them in B tier. I think that they're better than Bowmasters though. Like in each like row, like I'm gonna try and put them like best on the left, worst on the right, but like it doesn't like really matter. Okay, Angelic Buster is like A tier. It's just a super strong class. Like mid game is like okay, but like late game, once your Soul Seeker's one shot, then the class is actually insane. Like mobbing is insane. The bossing is actually not that bad either. Like the bossing used to be insane. They did get nerfed a little bit, but their class is still really good. I don't think that they're getting anything huge with the upcoming balance patch. Yeah, they're getting like a little bit of extra lines on their mobbing skill, but otherwise, yeah. So Angelic Buster is A rank. Okay. Now Lumi is. Oh man. I'd probably just put like Lumi. I like B tier. Their mobbing's okay. Like you would think, like a lot of players think that with Reflection, like Lumi's mobbing is like insane because it bounces all over the place. But the problem is like Reflection doesn't cover like larger maps, and so like if you go to like D Cup 1, like Reflection doesn't hit everything, so you have to like cycle through. So their mobbing's like pretty good, but like not insane, and their bossing's like okay. It's like average. So I'll put Lumi on B tier. All right, Nightwalker. I'm gonna put Nightwalker in S tier, but like lower S tier. In the low S tier, Nightwalker's actually pretty insane. Their early to mid game is really weak, but once they're like bats one shot, their mobbing becomes insane, and their bossing is actually out of the world. Like they do so many lines, and their burst damage is insane. So I think that and just Nightwalkers are pretty cool, right? So yeah. All right, Thunder Breakers. Honestly, I don't really know too much about this class. This is one of the classes I've actually never made. Like since they like redid all the Sickness Knights, I haven't played the new one. I'm kind of tempted to put them at like B or C tier, because I don't really know too much about them. Like I know that they used to suffer from a lack of hits. Actually, before I rank them, let me see if they received any like major buffs before I before I piss off some people. Okay, they didn't get anything with the balance patch, so I'm gonna put them. They don't have any burst. I'm gonna put them in C tier. Like they have pretty good consistent damage, but it's not that I can't rank them. It's just like I'm like kind of hesitant to like piss people off. Just like, but their new V skill is honestly not that great from what I've heard. They might have buffed it, but I would either push Trigger at the bottom of B tier or at the top of C tier. But yeah, I don't really know too much about this class. Alright. Is this Dawn Warrior? Okay, Dawn Warrior goes straight up to S class, S tier. Dawn Warriors are actually such an insane class. They're just really good. Like the only downside is their mobbing is like meh. But their aesthetic is awesome. Their bossing is actually insane. They have iframes, they have like they can just basically rotate between all their V skills. And you can just consistently have like so much damage up. And their new V skill is pretty good too. So yeah, and they're getting they're not getting like anything major with the balance patch. I think they might be getting they're actually Cross the Sticks is getting a buff. So yeah. Dawn Wars are just really good. Ilium. I'm gonna put Ilium in C tier. Okay, honestly, a lot of people hate on Ilium, but I actually think Ilium is a pretty good class. Because early to mid game, they're actually really strong. It's just that for me, like moving the ball around and having to control it is like not my thing. Their damage is actually pretty good, and their utility, like they're like a support class, right? So their supporting is pretty good, but honestly, I'm just not a fan of how Ilium works. Their new V skill is like kind of a meme. Yeah, it is a TP, but they did change it, so like the gate actually does damage, so their new V skill is not too useless. Okay, Shadower. Now, this is my favorite class. Like, it's the class that I main. And like I know what buffs it's gonna get. They're getting like a huge buff to Boomerang Stab. Basically they're mobbing, and their bossing, they're doubling the lines on Assassinate, so their bossing is actually pretty good. I'm actually gonna put Shadower in B tier. Top of B tier, just because their mobbing endgame is pretty good. Their bossing is okay, but their early to mid game is like kind of a hindrance. So yeah, I think Shadower B tier is a pretty good spot. Like me personally, I would want to put it higher just because it's my favorite class, but like it's not honestly like not that great of a class. Okay, Arc I'm gonna put in S tier as well. Like I'm like debating like between high A tier and low S tier. Honestly, I'll put it in high A tier for now, just because it doesn't have Spectre Form all the time. If it had Spectre Form all the time, I would put it like in S rank easy. But yeah, its damage is pretty good. Its mobbing, I don't really know too much about its mobbing. I don't think it's like insane, but it's pretty good. Yeah. Alright, Hero goes straight up to S tier. Like that, this is non-debatable. Like heroes are disgustingly good. Heroes are getting, I don't know why, like heroes have been good, but they keep getting buffed for some stupid reason. So like heroes are getting a lot more lines with the upcoming balance patch. Like their damage isn't getting increased per se, but they're getting a lot more lines so that they're not getting gated by cap. So heroes mobbing is trash, but It's not trash, like it's okay. Like if Burning Soul Blade like one shots and everything one shots, like it's okay. But the fact that they're bossing, that the top of the bossing, like other than Kana, just is like their bossing is so good that it puts them on S tier. You play Dawn Warrior, is personally kind of meh. I have a Dawn Warrior that's like in Choo Choo. I really like it, and like I think Dawn Warriors are just like actually insane. I think it's one of the more underrated classes of the game. But yeah, like Hero's bossing is just so good. I just can't like. Also, like the thing about classes like Dual Bladed Hero is that their weakness is their mobbing, but you can always job change, like really if you had to. So their weakness kind of gets covered. Like some people don't want to job change, but like that's an option. So. Who is the most right class on S? This is Nightwalker. Is Hero the best bosser in the game? No. Kana is the best bosser. That's why Kana is up here. I wouldn't say Hero is like one of the best bossers. No. It's not the best bosser, but it is like very high up there. Yeah, like Hero mobbing isn't honestly like that bad once you can one-shot everything. Like it's actually not too bad. And again, you can always job change. Okay, Zero. Honestly, I want to put Zero pretty high just because they're so fun to watch and fun to play. I'm gonna put Zero at the top of B tier because they're getting a lot of extra lines with the balance patch. Like I think they're getting like something like double or like even like tripling the amount of lines that they do in some skills. So they're actually not getting gated by the number of lines anymore. Their mobbing is insane, and their bossing is like okay, but they have like an iframe and their mobility is insane. So Zeros are just really nice. Hayato is actually quite good. It's pretty good. It's just they don't have burst damage. That's the only downside about Hayato. And I don't like Hayato's because they can't flash jump while bossing. That's the only gripe I have about Hayato's. Too bad Zero doesn't exist in Reboot. Yeah, it's such a shame. Okay. Xenons. I'm gonna put Xenons in like the middle of B tier. Their mobbing is pretty good. And their bossing's okay. But the fact that you have to like roll for all stat is honestly kind of a hassle. Like, and I'm just not personally a fan of their bossing playstyle. It's just like, I'm really not a fan. But like overall as a class, they're like pretty good. They have a bind, they have an iframe, like that's on a pretty short cooldown. They have decent amount of lines, and their burst is pretty good. But yeah, they're just like alright. Define burst? Maybe like double or triple your non-burst damage. Yeah. Shade, okay. I actually think shades are like really nice. Their mobbing endgame is pretty insane. Their bossing is okay, like it's pretty good. Like their survivability is pretty good, and they have split, which split is like split got nerfed so that it doesn't provide as much damage for the party, but shades themselves do more damage. Let me see what their changes are. Yeah, so shades are getting a pretty decent line damage buff. So yeah, I think I would put shades like high B tier as well. Like B tier, C tier is like average. Like just because I'm putting classes in B tier and C tier, doesn't mean I think they're bad. I think they're just like overall average. Like if I think a class was bad, I would put them in D tier or F tier. Xenon laser is pretty nuts. Yeah, I'm honestly not a fan of Omega Blaster. It's like, okay, Shade should be better than Xenon. Like okay, like don't really pay too much attention to like where I'm putting them on each row. Just like that doesn't. I'm just like kind of putting them wherever. So yeah. Okay, Night Lord. Night Lords are kind of like a little bit better version of Shadowers. So I'm gonna put them at the bottom of A tier. I don't know if they actually belong in A tier. Like I would arguably put them on either A or B tier. Their burst is pretty strong. Like obviously everybody knows about spread. Their mobbing is pretty good once they're marks 1 or 2 shot. But the biggest downside is that their off burst is pretty weak and they have no iframe. That's the biggest problem with Night Lord, is that they don't have an iframe. Dupa. Monka S. Hey, I put it in A tier, okay? Yeah, but I really wish they would give Night Lord some love. Like, they need to give them an iframe. Because Shadow and Doughblades have like, they're like Shadow and Doughblades bossing is like as an overall kit is pretty complete, but like some classes are just lacking like iframes or like movement abilities, and that's kind of like hindering them in bossing. Dual Blade also OP because of stance. Yeah, having 100% stance built in is pretty underrated, honestly, because that just saves you a link slot. Like you don't have to equip Mihao slot if you have 100% stance. But like off the top of my head, I don't know which classes have 100% stance or not, so like I can't, like, yeah. No cooldown Shadow Web and advanced Dark Set. Imagine Night Lord's new 5th jump was an iframe. I actually thought they would give Night Lords an iframe. Like I was 90% sure they were gonna give Night Lords an iframe. Like I correctly predicted what they were gonna give Dual Blades Shadowers. Like I thought they were gonna give Shadower like a burst skill, and I thought they were gonna give Dual Blades like a weaker, like mobbing slash bossing skill, and that's exactly what they both got. Well, Shadower is like not really a burst skill, but like it's like a semi burst. The fact that they gave Night Lords another like burst skill is like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Yeah, like Night Lords are actually a melee class. Okay, so the upcoming balance patch is making it so Night Lords can throw the giant, can throw Shuriken and hold it down, I think, and they can stop Shuriken right in front of them. So Night Lords are basically a melee class. Like they're actually a melee class. Like Spread and Shuriken are both melee skills. So that's the problem with Night Lords. Yeah. Okay, this is Dark Knight, I think, right? I'm gonna put Dark Knight as C tier. Honestly, there's not much I can say that's good about Dark Knight, and there's not much I can say that's bad about Dark Knight. It's just there. Like, hero and paladins are a thing, and so by comparison, Dark Knights just kinda are lackluster. Like, they don't out damage heroes and they don't out tank paladins. Or out, like, so yeah, Dark Knights are like whatever. Like, their mobbing is whatever, and their bossing is like okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna put them C tier. Like, they really need to give Dark Knights like some love. Like, holy crap, like Dark Knights, like Dragon Knights back in old MS used to be so cool. Like, what did they do to this class? Give some love to Dark Knight, please. Alright, Battle Mage. I actually think Battle Mage is like a pretty good class. Like, I'll just drop him in the middle of B tier, because their mobbing, like mid-late game, is pretty good, because you can just set up the altars, and their bossing, while their damage themselves aren't that good and it's ping reliant, like on the TP, the fact that their auras just help boost the overall party's damage so much, I think, like, I would love to have an endgame Battle Mage in my party, like, regardless. So for that reason, I'm putting them in like B tier. Give Purple Roar back? Yeah, give Dark Knights a 0-second Dragon Roar. Honestly. Okay, Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer, I'm gonna put high A rank. Like, I don't know if it's better than Arc, but like they're around the same place for me. Demon Slayers are just like really good. Like, honestly, I would almost put this in S tier. Like, maybe I'll do that. I don't know. You're in law, thanks for the follow. Demon Slayers are just like all around a solid class, because I don't know about early mid game, but like end game, their bossing is super solid. They have an iframe, although it is like on a longer cooldown. Like, I think Metamorphosis, yeah, that's a cooldown. The problem is their new 5th drop skill is really trash. Like, its damage is pretty good, but you have to hold it down for 3.5 seconds without getting interrupted. And pulling that off is kind of hard right now, so I hope that they change Demon Slayer's 5th drop skill. But like, their mobbing is pretty good too. Like you can kind of like, I don't know if this is still possible, but I used to be able to like teleport around with the Chaos Lock and just like attack with like another skill. So, oh, they have 2 of our iframes. Okay, even better. Yeah, Demon Slayers are just like really strong. And like aesthetic wise, they're like one of my most favorite classes. Like I just love Demon Slayer style. It's pretty good. If Shadowers weren't a class, I would probably be maining a Demon Slayer. Yeah, probably. Alright, Maple Story. Alright, we all know where Maple Story is. Nexon. Well, we'll just say this is Nexon right here, okay? Nexon America. Okay, Adele. S tier for sure, right now. S tier. Okay, so what's happening with Adele in the upcoming balance patch? She is getting nerfed. Her damage is getting pretty much like gutted. She's losing 30%. Alright, still better than Jet. Alright, you're right. You're right. I'll you know, okay. We'll do that. So, she's losing 30%, like, roughly about 30% of her overall damage, but she's getting quality of life buffs. So they're making her swords from 20 seconds to 40 seconds, which is really good. But yeah, her damage is getting nerfed, but even with the nerf damage, she still out damages pretty much every other class in the game. So, and the fact that she has a 26-second iframe, which lasts for 5 seconds, the iframe. She has a shield, which kind of helps her party, but it's mostly for herself. Like, once you have that shield on, you pretty much can't die like that easily if you're in a party. And she has a TP, she has a dash, she has an up jump. Like, she's insane. Like, her. So, yeah. Impale final damage buff? Well, I actually really like that because spamming rush into Impale is actually an increase in damage. So I actually think that's a pretty good mechanic. Like using Cleave and then when Impale Rush is off cooldown, using that actually increases your overall damage just because Impale Rush does more damage than Cleave. Yeah. Yeah, she is a warrior and most warriors have 100% stance. Yeah. So Adele is just busted strong and her new 5th drop skill is pretty freaking good actually. Like it's not like too insane because like it's like an aura that deals damage, but once you use that, all the swords that you have out disappear, and so you have to like resummon them. So like, yeah, it's like not too busted, but it's still pretty good. Like she shouldn't have gotten a good V skill, but she got a pretty good one. Okay, so this one is Bishop, I think. Okay, Bishop, I'm gonna put. I'll put Bishop next to Battle Mage because they're both support classes. Bishops are pretty much a requirement in like most endgame parties, right? Because they have Benediction. You get weapon jump int 4. You have a high amount of int, and you just do a lot of buffing for your party. Thanks for the follow. I can't read that name, even though I took Japanese a year ago. Something Rasan, I think? No, Ken. Oh, I don't know. I'm sorry if I can't, but yeah. But Bishop's mobbing isn't that great, but they can always switch to Ice Lightning. So But actually, there is a video of a Bishop soloing Hard Lucid phase 3 with the new V skill. And any class that can solo Hard Lucid can't be like that bad as a solo bosser, right? Like, yeah. Anyways, they're mostly support class, and I know most people just switch to Bishop at the end when they're ready to just like boss. So yeah. Do you think Adele will get nerfed again? Oh, for sure. Like, so Pathfinder used to be the strongest class. When Pathfinder first came out, Pathfinders were busted strong. And then they kept getting nerfed and nerfed and nerfed. They got nerfed like 4 or 5 times in total. And I think that's the same thing is gonna happen to Adele. They're just milking her for money right now. Cause like everybody wants to play Adele. They're just gonna like make her strong so everybody jumps on the Adele bandwagon, spends a bunch of money, and they're gonna nerf her, like for sure. Wasn't this on a regular server? Yeah, well I know, but like I'm just saying like bishops like their solo bossing isn't great compared to like fire poison, but it's not like trash. Like you can still solo boss on it. Is this going on YouTube? That's the plan, I guess. But yeah, Pathfinder kept getting nerfed until now they're like average in terms of bossing. I don't think Adele's gonna get nerfed to that point, but I think she's gonna definitely see at least 1 or 2 more nerfs. Yeah, I think they're just gonna lower her damage. I don't see them really lowering her utility. I just think they're gonna lower her damage. Like it doesn't matter. Like if she could lose like another third of her damage, she'll still be S tier for me. Like her kit is that good. And I'm not gonna speculate on like what potential like changes that they can make to her kit, because like that's just weird. So it's like whatever. As long as they keep her like her iframe, like her iframe alone is enough to make any class that's like here to like her iframe alone could make any class jump up 1 rank or 1 or 2 tiers. Honestly, her iframe alone is just that good. But yeah. This is Dark Knight right here. Yeah, Aether Guard is just disgusting. I don't know why they gave such a overpowered iframe to her. I think they need to like increase the cooldown on Aether Guard, because it's not that hard to get the iframe off of it. Like with a little bit of practice, it's really easy to get an iframe off. And so you basically have a 5-second iframe that's on a 26-second cooldown. That's like way too strong. Now this is Dawn Warrior. Okay. Sushi Jodo, thanks for the follow. So okay, so Kadena. Honestly, Kadenas are at the top of the DPM chart, like because their theoretical damage is so high. But like in my personal opinion, like the fact that they had to like put up so many combos makes them like not as good. Like they could be like, they have the potential to be S tier, but yeah, sometimes having to combo kind of puts them in a weird place. And their mobbing's like, I don't know, their mobbing's okay, it's pretty good, but yeah, their damage output's really high. See, the problem with Kadena that I found is that with the new healing familiars, every 10 seconds your familiars heal you, right? And actually every single time that happens, you kind of, your key inputs kind of disappear. There's like a fraction of a second where there's lag when your familiars heal you, and so that's especially bad for Kadena, who relies on like timing to do their combos, and so healing familiars are kind of screwing up Kadenas. But otherwise, like Kadenas are like pretty good. Their damage is really high. Got 12% crit on your mag soul. Is it worth keeping? I think heroes have pretty low crit, right? It wouldn't be too bad, but like it's, you could probably keep it, but you would definitely switch that out for like endgame bossing. No wonder you die more HP familiars. Yeah, so in a party like with 6 different people that all have like a healing familiar, like that HP tick happens that lag happens every few seconds, and like most classes like feel like would suffer from it, but Kadenas especially are getting like screwed. So if you have a Kadena in your party, like I would not recommend running more than like 2 or 3 healing familiars, because it's gonna mess up their combos. Okay, on to Aran. Okay, I'm actually gonna put Aran in like higher A tier. The only reason why is because their mobbing is kind of bad, but their bossing is honestly on par with like any S tier mobber. Like Arans have been getting buffed, and the upcoming balance patch, their Hunter's Prey is getting 5 times stronger. It's gonna activate 5 times in a row. Which means that, like, the finisher, when you're in adrenaline mode and you press like down, right, up, and you charge that giant polearm, that's like a 7-second iframe, right? But once that hits, it does like 65 lines. And like every line, and that multiplier on that skill is so high, it's gonna do so much damage. It's like, yeah, 75 lines. It's 15 times 5, right? It's so strong. Like, once I saw that buff, I was like, okay, wait, I'm gonna main Aran. And then Adele dropped, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to main Adele now. But yeah, Aran is getting like buffed and buffed and buffed. Like, they are so strong. But their mobbing is like, honestly, like, kind of effort. Like, it requires a little bit of effort, so like, that's the only reason why I'm putting them in A tier. Like, Arans, because they're a hero class, they get Freud, so they have like Freud's iframe, and then every like 30 or 40 seconds, they can trigger adrenaline mode, which gives them another iframe, which like can last for 5 or 6 seconds. So, yeah. How many lines does Blade Tornado hit? In my personal experience, on like most bosses, it can deal 86 lines. But in Dojo, where you can push the boss, it can hit 110-ish. But 86 is you're spacing correctly if you're doing 86 hits. Yeah, Nightwalker is just way stronger than Nightlord. Like, yeah, there's not, like, you can't compare the two classes. Well, I mean, you can. They're like, yeah, but Blaster. Okay, Blaster. Honestly, I'm gonna put Blaster at the top of B tier. Now, yes, like, if you get combo canceling down, like the comboing down, its damage is pretty good. But like, that is so much effort for a class that's not even like, there's like classes that deal more damage in Blaster for like 1/10 of the effort. So, yeah, like the mobbing is like, it's okay, but their bossing is like, man, like, if you have to get comboing down. So it's honestly like way too much effort in my opinion. So that's why they're in B tier. Nightwalker's a budget Nightlord? No, Nightwalker is just like better. Like, they have way more lines. Like, overall, they actually have an iframe. They have a dash. They have an up jump. Their mobility is just better. So yeah, I'd say Nightwalker is just better than Nightlord, sort of. Yeah. But like, I've seen endgame blasters and like, wow, like that stuff's impressive to watch. But like, I personally, like, I can never do that. So yeah. Could I repeat why Aran is A tier? Because Aran's bossing is actually just insanely good. They have an iframe like every 30 to 40 seconds. Their new 5th drop skill is a bind. So they have their own bind as well. They have super stance. Oh, that's something that's super underrated. They have super stance built into Fenrir Crash. Like Beyond Blade and Fenrir Crash. Super stance, so nothing in the game can knock you back. Like Lotus, Magnus, like nothing can knock you back. I should also mention that Shadowers also get built in super stance. Like, that's why, like, they're super good. Yeah, like, once you play a class, once you boss with a class that has super stance, and you go to a class that doesn't, you're like, why am I playing this? Why am I bossing with this class? Like, super stance is just so good. So, what's the class left of Ilium? Thunderbreaker. Okay, Marksman. Honestly, I'm gonna put Marksman down here. The new 5th drop skill is actually pretty good. Let me see what their buff is first before I make a final placement on Marksman. Let me see what their balance patch is. What the buff that they're getting is. Oh wow, their snipe is getting like almost double the lines. Oh, that's pretty good actually. Okay, but I'm still putting marksman in the C tier simply because you have to space with marksman, and spacing, like, you have to space like pretty much like over half the screen to get maximum damage on marksman, and like, who the heck wants to do that? Like, if you're looking at Hard Lucid Phase 3 and you see like your party all on like the center platform and you see a marksman just like out there by themselves just to max out damage, just like, why? Just get rid of the spacing mechanic on marksman, and honestly they could be like a high B tier, because like with split arrow and their new 5th drop skill, their burst and their mobbing is actually like not bad, but the fact that you have to space for bossing honestly pisses me off. Yeah. Alright, dual blades. Alright, we all know dual blade is like instant S tier. It's like, dual blades are a disgusting class right now. The only downside is that their mobbing isn't that great, but should you be a Magnuson to attack or space? True, but dual blades are so strong, especially in GMS, because the Sweetwater Katara gives them an extra 30% boss damage. That 30% boss damage is something that like Korean devs just like, yeah, they don't balance around that, right? So yeah, dual blades aren't getting any buffs. Thankfully, they're not getting buffed in the upcoming patch. They should not be getting buffed. Well, they're getting like a slight quality of life change, like their vertical is getting a little higher, but yeah, they have 2 iframes. Well, they have 1 iframe, kind of, like the other one's like Final Cut, that's like situational. But their sustained damage is pretty strong. Their burst damage is like not that great. Like, there's a lot of other classes that have higher burst damage, but dual blade sustained damage is so high that it makes up for it. Also, Asura gives them super stance, which again, super stance is really good. And Asura acts as a holy shell. It's a personal holy shell. So it blocks mechanics like Arcarium crack or like will crack, like the screen test. It blocks that. It blocks bombs. So that, on top of the fact that you just have like a 40-second like Chains of Hell is a 40-second cooldown, like 3.5 second duration iframe. Final Cut's a 3-second iframe as well. On like all of that, just like dual blade's utility is just off the charts. And that, coupled with their good sustained damage, just makes them a top tier bosser. Yeah. Like Asura's, like, people complain about Asura because it doesn't do that much damage. That's not the point of Asura. Like, Asura's are already pretty good because, like, it's not a burst skill. Like, it's not meant to be a burst skill. Like, it does slightly more damage than Phantom Blow because it has 100% built-in IED. So against like 300% PDR bosses, it does more damage. But it's built in super stance and a built-in holy shell. That's why Asura is so good. So yeah, dual blades are just like undisputed, like they're just really strong. They're also like one of the most popular classes in GMS and KMS because they're so good. I feel like they might get a nerf, but like they're so popular that maybe they won't. I don't know. Okay, mechanic. Oh my god. Okay, actually I have a story to tell you guys. Today I finally got my mechanic to 200. And I wanted to uninstall MapleStory. Like, I would probably rather get another class to 275 rather than play mechanic again. Like, oh my god, this. Okay, but I can't judge a class just by like pre-level 200. Like endgame bossing and mobbing they're actually like pretty good. Like once your bots, all your summons and stuff one shot, their mobbing is actually pretty insane. And their bossing is like actually pretty good too. Like their damage is pretty good. But like you have to reach so much funding to reach that level of like godliness that I'm just gonna put them in like C tier. Like if I could make like 2 separate tier lists, I would put like mechanic like early game like here, and I would put like end game like here or something. But like I don't know. Like I'll put them at the end of B rank or something. I'll be like B tier, like whatever. But don't get me wrong, like I've seen endgame mechanics and I know what they can do. So Yeah. Is Bishop on the tier list? Yeah, this is Bishop right here. Yeah. Like, yeah. But I finally got my mechanic to level 200 today, and wow, I never want to touch that class again. Like, ugh. Okay, Kinesis. I actually don't know too much about Kinesis. Like, I know Psychic Bullet, which is their 5th job. That's like their main skill. They're not getting any buffs with the upcoming balance patch, so I'm just gonna put like Kinesis in like I don't know, lower B tier, or like maybe I'll put them like upper C tier with Thunderbreaker. Honestly, like I don't really know. Like their mobbing's like okay, like, but their bossing's like okay. But again, like I don't really know too much about that. Like, Kinesis is one of the classes I don't really know too much about. So, yeah. Why is Bishop not S tier? Because Benediction isn't honestly like that overpowered. And if you take out Benediction, their capabilities as a bossing class isn't that great, and their mobbing is trash. So yeah, I'm only giving them B rank because Benediction is like pretty okay. Alright, Phantom. I'm gonna put Phantom in B tier. Or should I put them upper C tier? I don't know. They belong like somewhere like lower B tier, upper C tier in my opinion. Simply because they do so little damage, it hurts me inside. But I know that's just like, yeah, I don't know. Like their utility is actually insane though. Like they have Freud's, they can steal Sacro, which gives them, so they have 2 30-second iframes potentially. Their burst is pretty good. Their mobbing is like okay. It's just that like Tempest feels so bad to boss with. It's like, I don't know, just Tempest is just ugh. It's whatever. No, okay, Fancy behind Mechanic, like I don't know. Like again, like don't put too much thought in where I place these like in each tier. It's like both Mechanic and Phantom I would either put in like high C tier or low B tier. Like maybe I'll make it a bell curve later. Like maybe I'll like redistribute these around later, but yeah. But Phantom is damage is overall kind of low. Like they do a lot of lines. Their utility is good, but like I don't know. I just would not boss with a Phantom. Like having to use Tempest is just no. I would not do that. If you start as Kana and Reboot, would that be recommended? Yeah. If you're playing Reboot and you find Kana like pretty good, you should just main Kana. Think of something made from Nightlord to Shadower? Maybe. Maybe. Okay. Wild Hunter. I'm gonna put Wild Hunter honestly like somewhere here. Cause okay, so their mobbing's okay. It's not spectacular. Their bossing's okay as well. I remember when like if you had a Wild Hunter in your party, like they would just lag out the entire party. Honestly, it's like but okay. Before I make the final decision, let me see if they're getting any buffs with the balance patch. Okay, their drill container is getting a buff from 12 to 15. Okay, so the mobbing is actually getting a little bit better, and their bossing is honestly like not that bad, but like. Okay, yeah, I'm still gonna put them in C tier. Yeah, I don't know. Like Wild Hunters, I just don't think they're that great. So okay, what is this? Which one is this? Is this the Oh, this is Ice Lightning. Okay, Ice Lightning. Well, Ice Lightning can switch to Bishop or Fire Poison, so that automatically puts them in like at least B tier. No, but jokes aside, like Ice Lightning's mobbing is like pretty good. Like it's not as good as it used to be because with the totem nerfs and like cushion nerfs, like they can't sit in CLP and like Ice Age. So I'm gonna put them like here. Pretty much most Ice Lightning mains are just using them to level up so that they can switch to Bishop or Fire Poison. Like, as an actual main, there's not really that much reason to main Ice Lightning. They do less damage in Fire Poison, and they're like less useful than Bishop, so yeah. Yeah. Okay, Mihail. I mean, just play Dawn Warrior, right? Like, why would you play Mihail? Okay, no, but okay, actually, seriously, let me see if Mihail gets any changes. Mihail's actually not that bad. Like, their mobbing is like, it kind of hurts to mob with them, I'm not gonna lie. And if you have high ping, Royal Guard is actually just a pain. But I don't have ping issues, so me personally, like, Royal Guard is like whatever. But, okay, my biggest problem, my biggest gripe with Mihail is that Row Is, right? Or Shield of Light, the giant shield, that skill would be amazing. But the fact that you have to break it in order to provide yourself with the damage bonus is like the biggest like no for me. It's like they should be able to do both. They should be able to provide, like, they don't need the damage like to be built into the shield. Like, it should be two separate things. Yeah, honestly, yeah, I'm just gonna put Mihail like here. Like, they're so boring in my opinion. It's just, yeah. Okay. Paladin. I actually think Paladins are pretty good. I'm gonna put them like upper B tier actually. They have Sacro, which gives them a 30-second iframe. They can give Sacro to another party, which means both members can use Risk Taker 4, and I have a Risk Taker 4. So honestly, like, I'm just waiting for the day like a Paladin joins my party and gives me Sacro so I can use Risk Taker, honestly. Yeah, but like Paladin's mobbing is actually pretty good. Like the new V skill is actually giving them, like, it helps them a lot. Like the new V skill is helping them a lot. So yeah, old Mihail, yeah, with the laser and like, yeah, it's just, yeah, I don't know. They did Mihail dirty. Yeah, and Paladins can tank one shot skills. It's like Paladins are really good. It's just that they don't do as much damage as Hero. But like with Grand Cross, like their burst is also pretty decent. Like maybe I should move Paladin up a little bit more. Yeah, I'll put Paladin up a bit more. I don't know. Okay. Wind Archer. Ooh. Where did I place Bowmaster? I placed Bowmasters in B tier. Ooh, I actually don't know. Like, Wind Archers and Bowmasters are pretty similar, not gonna lie. Because with the new V skill, both of them have like Wind Archer has the wind shield, right? And Bowmasters have their new V skill, which gives them damage reduction. And they're both Hurricane classes with like the extra arrows flying around. But I would put Wind Archer higher than Bowmaster. Just because I think their mobbing is a little bit... No, Bowmasters have Platter. I don't know. I'll put it next to Bowmaster, honestly. Like, yeah, they're pretty similar classes in my opinion. They're both like mostly Hurricane-based classes. Like, Wind Archer does have Phalanx, but I don't know. It's hard, but yeah. If you're like insanely funded, obviously Wind Archer moves up and up, but like, you know, yeah. Late to the stream, but can you get a quick opinion on Kadena? Kadena's like theoretical damage output is like really strong if you can like consistently pull off your combos, but that's just not realistic. Like if they could pull off like all their combos, I put them in S tier, but because like you have to actually watch out for mechanics, and play around mechanics and your combos, like I put them lower in A tier. Yeah. Also healing familiars are like cucking them, so okay. Kaiser. with the new V skill, Kaiser is straight up S tier. There's just yeah. They're probably like well into S tier. Their new V skill, they got the new best V skill. Like if you look at each tier of V skills, there's like 1 or 2 skills that just stand out way better than the other V skills. For the first V skills, it was spread throw. Like spread throw was just so much better. That put Night Lords at the top of the meta for a while. And heroes got combo instinct, which puts them at the top of the meta right now. For the next set of V skills, Kaiser got the best skill. Like their new skill just adds like a straight up extra like 20% damage to them. Their bossing, they've been getting buffed, so like their bossing is actually really insane, and their mobbing is actually not bad because Kaiser's once you're in transformation, you can TP around with like no delay. So their mobbing is actually pretty decent as well. Lichiniformis, thanks for the follow. What does the Kaiser new skill do? It literally, you just turn it on and it does a bunch of damage around you, and for like 30 seconds, and then once that turns off, like every like 10 or so seconds, there's like a bunch of like little like things that come out and hit the mobs. But in 40 seconds, Kaiser's new V skill does over 600 hits. Like Kaiser's just got such a good V skill, and they have a TP. They can flash up and TP. They have an iframe, although like the iframe is like pretty long cooldown. That's the only thing I don't like about them, is that the iframe is like a long cooldown, but like their damage is insane. So I'm gonna put them S tier. Should you make the switch to Night Lord when you train? It depends. A very weak Dual Blade and a very weak Night Lord, there's gonna be no difference between the two mobbing. It's only when Night Lords start to like 1-shot or 2-shot with Mark is when they get better. Like 1-shot Mark, 1-shot Dark Flare, 2-shot Mark. Yeah. Yeah, honestly, like I'm kind of tempted to go back to resume my Kaiser series when the new V skill comes out, because I just want to like try out what Kaiser's like. Kaiser's just so good now. Like they used, like a year ago, they used to be terrible because their transformation iframe meant that their hitbox was bigger, I think, and like nobody wanted to play Kaiser because like it was garbage. But now like they've been getting buff after buff, and with this new V skill, they're at the top now. Oh, it's a 60-second iframe, yeah. But yeah. Okay. Cannoneer. I would put Cannoneer at the bottom of S tier, because Cannoneers, what's that skill called? Like Cocoa Ball, or like whatever that like massive bullet bill skill is. I don't know what the GMS name for it is, but that skill is actually probably one of the best V skills in the game. Like on big targets, or like even like medium-sized targets, that skill just does too much damage. Also, Cannoneers have an iframe. Their mobility is insane. Their mobbing isn't like too insane, I think, but like it's good enough. But their bossing is actually just really good. Yeah, Gloom. Yeah, oh my god. Like, okay, so Cannoneers did kind of get nerfed, so there is a maximum amount of hits that each like bullet can do, but it can still do hundreds of hits. Like, it used to be able to do like an unlimited amount of hits, like as long as it was like hitting the target, but now they limited it, but it's still like a lot of hits. So I don't know, Cannoneers are still good. Who's the Blonde Warrior? Dawn Warrior. I actually think Dawn Warrior is like one of the more underrated classes of the game. Like I think Dawn Warriors are really nice. You may know nothing about this game when you play Hero in S. I don't know. Half my buddy lists are heroes. I've seen a lot of endgame heroes up close. It's like, man, that's your opinion. I have my own opinion. What about Hayato? Okay, so I mean, I'm pretty sure most of you guys, or a lot of you guys, have seen Slade's like video of like being able to use Senrazon as like the new DPS. thing. I think that's really cool, but I mean, their mobbing, Hayato's mobbing is like actually insane. Like they can, with really little funding, they can actually one-shot really early on because Phantom Blade gives them a lot of final damage. And Phantom Blade is basically like a 0-second like full map attack, right? As long as you have sword energy, you can just like whip it out. It just clears the screen. So mobbing wise, they're actually like pretty good. Bossing is where they kind of fall off. Like they can't flash jump. They have a dash. They do have an iframe with the first V skill. I would probably put Hayato like mid upper B tier probably. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, Kaiser's transformation, like I don't know what the hitbox is like exactly, but like yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too big. Yeah, also Hayato has the other iframe. Yeah, right. They changed it. Yeah, so yeah, I think Hayato is pretty good. Like my second highest level character other than Akana is Hayato. So like I definitely like Hayato a lot. Hayato needs more lines and they need burst. That's the biggest issues I have. What song is this? I think so. It's like one of the Maple Tour areas, I think. I don't know. Okay, Hoyoung. Okay. I think Hoyoung is probably... Alright, screw it. I'll just put them S tier. Let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, okay. 1985. Kenny, thanks for the follow. Full Metal Kiss, thanks for the follow. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Hoyoungs are S tier. Their damage output is insane. Their burst is insane. Their mobility is insane. Yeah, there's not really that much to talk about Hoyoung. It's just, oh, it's Moon Bunny PQ. Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah. Korean Folktown. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Honestly, I'm not really too big a fan of like the Hoyoung aesthetic, like the whole like Eastern Asian thing. It's like it's okay. I think Kana did it better. Like, if you're talking about fan classes, like Kana's just straight up better. But yeah, their damage is, yeah. I don't know. I don't really know what else to say about Hoyoung. It's really nice. Okay, Fire Poison. I'm gonna put Fire Poison. Ooh. I'll put Fire Poison like top of A rank. Is Kaiser S tier because of his bossing? Mostly because of his bossing. The mobbing is okay, like it's passable. They do have one turret and they can place down the flames, the breath. So like endgame Kaiser mobbing is actually pretty good. Mid game wise, they're like it's okay, like it's not that great, but yeah, it's good enough. Like S tier, these guys are mostly good at bossing. I should just put like good bossers, honestly, like good bossers. But like yeah, anyways, like because that's what like endgame, you know, endgame Maple Story is, right? It's mostly just bossing, so yeah. What is this OST? It's Queen's Garden. Feels bad Hoyoung. Oh, okay, the thing about Hoyoung is that like I actually never really got to play Hoyoung properly. Like I got to level 200 and I stopped. Like it's really strong up to 200, but getting a character up to 200 doesn't give me enough insight to like the class. Cause like past like to a mid game, end game, I just know that their damage is just like really high. Okay, so let me talk about Fire Poison. Fire Poison is honestly one of the strongest classes in terms of damage. Actually, I should put them higher. Honestly, I should probably put them in like S rank or something. I don't know. The only issue about Fire Poison is like, okay, their mobbing is like not that great, but again, they can switch to it's kind of like Dual Blade, like their mobbing isn't that great, but it can be compensated by switching to one of the better mobbing classes alternatives. But in a vacuum, like if you're just talking about like Guild PQ or like a dummy, like Fire Poison is actually out damaged like most other classes in the game, including like Dual Blade and maybe even Hero. Honestly, I don't like. It's so good. Did you forget BT? Like, there's no BT on this list. I'm just gonna like, I would probably put BT like around C tier. Yeah, like Fire Poison. The problem with Fire Poison is that like, in actual bossing though, they're not as good. So I'm gonna have to like dock them a few like rankings, because one, if there's like in Lucid, if there's like golems or something, right? Your damage between like your V skills, it kind of gets split. It hits like other mobs, not just the boss. And also their mobility is not the greatest, and they have ethereal form. That's about it for like utility. So I'm gonna have to like dock them a few points, because like realistically, like they're not gonna do as much damage. But with the line story update, the balance update that's coming out, they are getting a lot more lines on some of their skills. They're getting a few more lines, so yeah. Well, unstable memory span, catch up perm infinity kind of? Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Where would Adele post nerf be? Still in the same spot. That's how strong Adele is right now. You could nerf Adele, you could probably nerf Adele one more time and she'd still be here. Just based on the fact that her utility is so good. Is that Dark Knight or Dawn Warrior in middle S tier? This is Dawn Warrior. Now a lot of people are surprised that I put Dawn Warrior here, but like, I really like Dawn Warrior. Like, I think they're such a good class. Like, me personally, I got one to like around 220. I think they're such a good class. Like, yeah. But that, again, this is my opinion, so like, it's not a purely objective tier list, so don't lynch me. Okay, Corsair. Okay, honestly, I want to love Corsair. I really do. I think their V skills are some of the best. Like, the set of the 4 V skills that they have, they're some of the coolest V skills in the game. But their 4th job is just like kind of garbage. Like, having to respawn everything every 30 seconds is really bad. Man, bring back Battleship. Honestly, bring back the OG Battleship. Just give them a Battleship to ride on, and have their summons follow them around. Like, I don't know. Yeah, but Corsair is like, I played Corsair up until like 217. I really like them, but like bossing is honestly a really big pain, and they don't even do that much damage, so it's not worth the effort. Okay. Mercedes. I know a lot of people find Mercedes to be a pain to like mob with, but I actually don't think. Like, me personally, like, I thought it was pretty fun and like not that big of a deal to mob with, so I'm gonna put Mercedes like lower B tier. Just cause like their mobbing's not like too good, and their bossing again is like not that great. They're just like okay at like both things. Just like you could play other classes with much less effort that just do everything better, so yeah. These teamers post revamp worse than Jet. They're, yeah. Okay, you know what? Fine. Jet, Beast, Tamer. Here, I'll do that. It's like, yeah. Lower B tier. Honestly, I kind of wanted to main Mercedes for a while, just because like they look super cool, right? Like, combo classes potentially are like some of the most fun classes in the game, but like while you're bossing, when you're mobbing, like you kind of like it kind of gets a hassle after a while. Demon arc too low. Okay, so I'm gonna shift the rankings around a little later. after I finally look at like where classes are relative to each other. So this isn't final, just wait. I definitely think Arc and Demon Slayer like are S tier, but I don't want to put too many classes in S tier because like that kind of defeats the purpose of the tier. So okay, why is Wild Hunter always in low tier? It's just okay. First of all, in my opinion, it's boring. Its mobbing is not that great. Its bossing is okay. It's like, I don't know. There's just so many better classes. What about Hayato? I put Hayato in like B tier. But like, again, Hayato is not in this thing. Pathfinder. I'm gonna put Pathfinder in like the upper B tier. Because they keep getting nerfed, and I think they're gonna get nerfed one more time or something like that. I don't know, but actually, let me check before I say that. They're getting nerfed one more time. Okay, let me just put them a little bit lower with the upcoming balance patch. They're okay. They are ping reliant, which is a big deal for some people. They do have one long ass cooldown iframe, but their mobility is honestly pretty insane, especially for an archer. So that's points for them. But yeah, they keep getting nerfed. Like, just stop nerfing them. Honestly, like, yeah. Zero's B tier? You think that's too high or too low? I don't know. Like, I think current Zero is like pretty good. Like, fun factor, I would probably put Zero like here, but like, I think overall as a class, like, I would put them like B tier. Pathfinders are meso farmers, yeah. I mean, back before Totems got nerfed and Kishin got nerfed, I would put Pathfinder a lot higher because the mobbing was a lot better in smaller maps. But because Kishin got nerfed, like everybody has to move to bigger maps, and Pathfinders aren't as good in bigger maps. So, yeah. Is this Buck? Oh boy, man, poor Bucks, man. They got shafted. Lord of the Deep got shafted so hard. What are Buck's new V skills? Oh no, Buck's new V skills are actually their new V skill is actually pretty sick. It's an iframe burst, so they're not too trash. I'm actually gonna put them at the bottom of B tier. Who's worse, B tier Jet? I have no clue. Oh, that's just Reboot only. No, not Reboot only. It's just my thoughts on my class. Like, honestly, Zero is one of my favorite classes. But yeah. Man, I don't know. Bucks are just like... Yeah, after Lord of the Deep got nerfed, they just kinda fell off. And everybody switched to Cannoneers, so... Kind of a sad story. The iframe is hard to use. You get the iframe after you burst, not while burst. Yeah. But I mean, it does a decent amount of damage from what I've seen from Camus footage. But overall, like, the rest of their kit is like okay. I have an issue with their Spirit Bomb skill. Like, why does it go so far? Like, how are you supposed to aim that thing? I was like, if it was homing, it'd be a lot better or something. You hear my take on Hero? You came in late. Okay, so like, the reason why Hero is an S tier is because their mobbing is bad, granted, but their bossing is pretty insane. Mostly because they have, well, okay, there are warriors, so they have 100% stance. They have a 20-second cooldown iframe in World Reaver. And Combo Instinct is just one of the strongest burst skills in the game. And they're getting like a line. They're getting a lot more lines with the upcoming balance patch. So they don't even like get that gated by lines anymore. So yeah. Like the fact that people complain about their classes. Well, like if you're playing a class and you spend a lot of time and effort into one class, and you see someone else who's just playing a way better class and they're doing a lot more damage, or they're just doing more in the game with like the same amount of effort or less effort, then like I guess some people kind of get like sad. 2 lines, yeah. I think Brandish goes from 5 to 7 lines or something like that. Yeah, 5 to 7. Advanced final attack goes from 2 to 3. So Yeah. Oh yeah, and all the warriors are getting an up jump as well, so their mobility is actually getting a lot better too. You can up jump into flash jump. So hero's mobility is honestly not even that trash anymore. Demon Avenger. Normally I would have put Demon Avenger in like C tier, but their new V skill is actually pretty insane. It's a 36-second iframe that gives him a whole bunch of extra damage. I honestly don't know where to place Demon Avenger. Red Knight X3, thanks for the follow. Because I know like if you do a lot of damage, if your projectile one shots, your mobbing is not too bad, right? Yeah, it's so good. Like overall, if you're looking at just overall like V skills, Demon Avenger might have gotten the best V skill. Like Kaiser probably got like the highest damage one, but Demon Avenger probably just objectively got the best one. But again, like without that V skill, they're pretty weak. So I'm just gonna put them here for now. Okay. Meows or something. Okay. Like the thing is, the party one-shot protection is like, it's like not that great in my opinion. I'd rather just give me an iframe. There's no point really in me getting damage reduction, because that can be overcome by mechanics, right? Like you can just get better at dodging or whatever. But like if you have an iframe like Paladin, you can use like risk taker or something like that. But like just getting damage reduction isn't enough, and the fact that you have to break the shield of light to the shield of light or whatever it's called to give yourself the damage bonus, it kind of like ruins it for me. But yeah. Anyways, let me do the last one. Blaze Wizards. Okay, honestly, Blaze Wizards I'm just gonna put in C tier. Like their bossing's not bad actually. Like they do like the amount of lines that they do is kind of low. But like their mobbing is potentially really good if you're geared. Okay, maybe I'll just put them like lower C tier or lower B tier. Okay, so let me just look through the list. So I'm gonna distribute these across the. So I didn't put any in D tier, but yeah. Let me just distribute the ones. Let me make it like a bell curve. Actually, I don't know. There's way too many classes in S tier, honestly. I should just rename this to like good boss series or something like that, or like OP boss series. Because like overall as a class, they're not like actually that great. Like, yeah, this is my personal opinion. Honestly, like if I could, I would make 2 different tier lists. One for bossing, one for mobbing, and then one for overall. Or like actually 3 different tier lists. But honestly, I don't know. Arc and Demon. Yeah, honestly, I kind of want to put Arc and Demon Slayer higher. But like, there's too many in S tier then. Should I just move some up? Okay. Actually, I think Paladin. Okay, let me just think for a second. Let me just think. Yeah, like I'm trying to like take all the aspects of a class and putting them into like one tier list, but that's honestly like a really bad. Oh, make an SS, dude. You're right. Wait, no. If I could, like, I kind of want to make, like, yeah, multiple tier lists. Maybe I will actually. Should I do another, like, should I do like 2 like separate tier lists really quickly just to show what I think like for bossing and mobbing. I don't know. Or I guess it doesn't really matter. Alright. Adele, SS tier. Dual blade. I should just put like really good. Oh my god, what is that? What? Why is the formatting so weird? Okay. Really good bossing. Wait, that's just everybody in. Okay. Hold up. That's just everybody in an 8 S tier though. Okay, no, wait. If I do this, then I can put like the decent mobbing grade bossers in A tier. Shit. Now my tier list is all messed up. Yeah, okay. I'll reserve SS tier for like the really strong classes. I honestly think Kaiser with the new V skill is like SS tier though. Maybe like bottom SS tier. I don't know. Maybe hero. Maybe. Yeah. Why is Kaiser so high? Their new V skill actually is insane. Yeah, okay. It's honestly like too complicated, but I think overall, I think this is pretty good, right? Yeah, okay. Bossing. That's just bossing. Okay. No, I'm not appeasing chat. I'm just like, I just think I don't want too many things in one row. I think this is pretty good. Like I like if I had more time, I would definitely move around more stuff. But yeah, I think this is pretty good. Does Kaiser's new V skill have a long cooldown? Yeah, it's pretty long, but it does so much damage that overall it still provides a lot of damage. The patch is coming out in months though for gym. Yeah, well, yeah, like the balance patch is coming out in about a month and a half, and then the V skills are coming out in about 6 months. Honestly, fine. I'll do a bossing tier list like really quickly then. This is bossing. Okay. Ooh, I don't actually know where to place Ilium. I don't know about Ilium. I think Zero's bossing is pretty good now. I think. But as a Reboot player, I don't really know. Wait, why did I put Ilium here? Oh, yeah, right. I don't know about Ilium. Okay, let me just. I'll like do the. I don't know. Why? Just why? This is Bishop, right? Ooh, Bishop? I guess just out of a necessity, I'd put Bishop in A tier. Just because they're necessary. Yeah. If it's just bossing only, I think mechanics are actually pretty good. I don't know about Kinesis mobbing. I actually don't know. I guess I'll just put them in like B tier, because I really don't know. Okay, I need to start putting classes in C tier. Okay, I'm just gonna like move all these classes down like a little. Okay. Wait, what is this one? Is this Ice Lightning? Oh, Ice Lightning's okay. Yeah, no, that's yeah, no. Something like that, maybe? Yeah, roughly. Yeah. A Kaiser, like, maybe you could debate, like, S, top S, bottom SS, but, like, yeah. I don't know, some of these, like, look kinda wrong. Like, I don't know if Wild Hunters belong in C tier, because they do a lot of lines, so maybe they don't belong in C tier, but, like, other than, like, some, like, objectively bad bossers, I don't think most classes are, like, bad at bossing, so yeah. Like, this is like the kind of hurts to boss with tier. This is like average tier. This is good. This is strong, and this is like OP, yeah. Do I do a tier list for farming? No, I honestly don't know enough about a lot of these classes to make a good okay, the thing about farming is like there's so many stages of the game where some classes become really good at farming. Good night. All right, good night. But it's like yeah. I think we're gonna stop it there for the tier list, because like if I would make a tier list for like the general population, which is like around 230, like about reaching Arcana, right? Like 230, 240. I would make a tier list for that. But then I would have to make a completely different tier list for players that are like 260 plus. But like that 260 plus list would be like indicative of like a class's true potential, but most players will never reach that level for any given class. So like, yeah, I don't think there's like a meaning to making such a tier list. Can you see the 230, 240 range? Well, like, okay, to be fair, like in the mid game, most classes are like pretty like similar in terms of mobbing. Yeah, it's like I don't think a farming tier list would be like very helpful. I think you should just play Kana, honestly, if you're looking to farm. But yeah, like I can't objectively say that, like, for example, a Xenon would mob better than a Dark Knight. It's like, I don't know. Yeah. Why is AB so high up? Cause AB is getting a pretty sick new V skill, which adds a pretty amount of lines. Also, she has an iframe and her mobility is pretty insane. Yeah. No, her damage is actually she does a lot of lines during burst with Showtime or whatever it's called. All the Soul Seekers, she summons a lot of those, so she actually does a decent amount of lines. RXL, chill. Star Force event isn't here yet. Wait for the Star Force event. What keyboard are you using? Should I show you guys my keyboard? It would kinda... Okay, let me hold up my keyboard. It's kinda heavy though. This is what it looks like. If I unplug it, will it? Okay, whatever. I built it myself. In yesterday's stream, I showed off, or I explained what exactly it's made out of, but like it has like the fish keycaps from Jelly Key. Yeah. Yeah, the arts and keycaps from Jelly Key. Yeah. On the game, thanks for the follow. Yeah, I built it myself. You're really into custom mechs? I mean, it's just the one. Like, I haven't. This is the only keyboard I've made so far. They're kind of expensive. It's Zushi. Thanks for the follow. Which switches? I'm using Novel Key creams. And I'm using the Tofu 65 kit from KBD. I don't know what plate it is. Zinfuls, thanks for the follow. But I live off YouTube stream money. Does it look like I'm getting money from YouTube and streaming? I do this off for no revenue. No. I'm a student. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just streaming for fun. Yeah. I mean, someday when I have more time, I guess I can go into like what I think some classes, like different tier lists for mobbing and stuff like that. But I mean, that's, you know, that's for another day. Okay, anyways, yeah, that's gonna be it for the stream. I guess it just turned out to be like a tier list stream. Damn, that's not what I ended up. That's not what I meant for it to be, but yeah, I guess that's gonna be it. Oh, actually, tomorrow I have hard bosses at Guild PQ, so I guess I'll be streaming again tomorrow. Okay, yeah, anyways, yeah. That's gonna be it. Thank you all for coming. Whether or not you agree with my tier list, it's honestly like, it is like a lot of like personal bias, so yeah. With Zero Skills, thanks for the follow. I hope you all have a good night or day or whenever it is. Peace.